Welcome to the Modern Merchant Podcast. I'm your host, Travis Merrier, CEO of FlexPoint. Today I have Gentry Bell of Chattanooga Shooting Supplies. Gentry, thanks for being on, man.
Hey, thank you, Travis. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I know we've been working back and forth a good bit the last couple of weeks as we look to solidify our partnership, bring you guys on as a supplier within the FlexPoint and inventory source directory. You guys have an awesome business, been in the industry for quite some time, and would love to hear a little bit more about it from you, learn a little bit more about, who Chattanooga is, and give us the quick high-level overview.
Yeah, so Chattanooga Shooting is a family-owned business. We're in the shooting sports industry, kind of as our main area. 40-plus years in operation. As you can tell from the name, we're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we do have a regional name, but we are a national player. We have 45 plus sales reps across the entire United States. And, for me specifically, my role on the sales team is really to just support our sales reps and give them every tool that they need to kind of support our dealers.
Yeah, awesome. And from the 45 sales reps, that's a good bit. Are most of those guys out there in the field? Are they kind of centrally located in Chattanooga? How do you kind of distribute the sales team?
So over the last, 4 years, kind of really since COVID, we've expanded our team all the way out west in, Boise, to up north in kind of the Pennsylvania area, and also, down south in Texas, Alabama, and South Carolina. So we're pretty well spread out, but also have a core kind of closer to Chattanooga as well. So pretty well covered.
And so they're throughout the United States. I assume a lot of times maybe visiting your customers, working from home, whatever it might be. So I guess who are your customers? Who are your sales reps kind of working with on a daily basis or looking to get in front of? Are they brick and mortars? Are they online sellers? Are they a mix of both? Are they big? Are they small? Curious on your primary customer.
Yeah, so I would say our primary customer is that brick-and-mortar retail shop. Over the last several years, the online retailers have definitely grown, and we've worked with several of them. In terms of size, we are working with larger retailers that have multiple locations, ranges, but then we're also working with the lower level dealers that maybe just have a local store. For us, we want to be able to treat both of them kind of with the same dedication and service. And we've been able to grow over the last 10 years because of those single stores, and so we don't want to forget how important they are to our business.
So it sounds like you guys spread a wide range of different companies. Is there any kind of someone wants to come work with you, firearms dealer, brick and mortar, on pure online? Is there any kind of requirement, do they need to be doing a certain amount of sales? They need to have a certain, besides maybe their, FFL, what kind of requirements does it take to work with Chattanooga?
So this is something that we pride ourselves on, of making it very easy to get set up. We only require a state-issued sales tax certificate, basically, so you're not being charged tax on your purchases with us. And then if you have an FFL, obviously we'll take that as well. But even some stores or online retailers that may not be in the firearms space do want to take advantage of maybe all of the accessories or items that don't require as much documentation. We can still partner with them and get them set up with us.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what does the catalog look like for you guys? Like on average, how many SKUs or what's the size of the product catalog look like? What's, if you maybe talk to some maybe brands or just the difference in how many accessories, what's the makeup of accessories versus ammo and firearms? It'd be good to better understand kind of what the catalog's made up of.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say one thing that we pride ourselves on is kind of being a distributor that can provide everything that your business may need. Not only are we carrying the big items like firearms, ammunition, but we also really lean into reloading, optics, hunting accessories, PPE. There's so many other categories that come with owning a gun or being in the hunting space. And so we try our best to offer all of those different categories to the dealers. I believe right now we're at over 45,000 plus SKUs that are active, and we continue to bring in more categories, more brands to kind of expand that offering.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty sizable catalog. Is that kind of how you guys differentiate? I know, if I look at the firearms and firearm accessory space, there's, 10 pretty well-known distributors out there, maybe 10 to 15 or so, let's say. You guys being one of them, how do you differentiate in this space? Is it purely off catalog, or is there other factors when someone's considering working with you?
I would say when we're pitching ourselves to dealers, our breadth of product is definitely a factor we mentioned. Being able to make the buying process easier for the dealer is what we try and strive for ultimately. Being able to allow them to submit one PO with one distributor rather than 3 or 4 across the board really saves them time, efficiency, and then kind of along those same lines is Chattanooga. We really focus on being a partner with the dealer rather than just it be a transactional kind of relationship. We truly want to be partners and support their business so that they can grow, which then only allows us to grow.
So you said 40 years, right? You guys been around for 40 years? Is that?
Yes, 40 plus years.
So 40 years, you guys been in this business. A lot has happened in the last 5 years from what I've seen. I'm sure you've probably seen something similar, right? So it's been pretty crazy the last 5 years. But in general, what are the priorities this year? Anything new? I know it's doing what you've been doing seems to be working, but I'm just curious, what's the main focus this year? What's the team excited about? What are the priorities?
Yeah, I mean, for us at Chattanooga, it's just continue to grow. Like I said, I would say if you ask people 10 years ago, I say, oh yeah, Chattanooga's a regional player. Whereas if you're going out and asking our vendors now and our competitors, say, oh, Chattanooga's a national player. And that's been done through hard work, high-level leadership. We brought in, like I mentioned, a ton of seasoned sales reps from across the country. So they're bringing in new dealers that are out there. The most exciting thing for us is, we've been able to grow, but yet there's still so much opportunity, so many avenues that we haven't touched yet. And so that's our main goal over the next year.
Yeah. Eddie, can you touch on, not to put you on the spot, but any the avenues that you haven't touched on yet? The stuff that you guys aren't really kind of tapping into that you might in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's different types of businesses that could benefit from our products. I believe our main dealer is the one that sells, firearm, ammunition, and a few other things. But there's a lot of stores out there that may not sell firearms, but also sell a lot of other products that we carry. And so it's really about, expanding not only our offering, but also being able to show our value to those types of businesses, whether it, be an Ace Hardware or other, Fleet Farm locations. There's a ton of different avenues that I believe Chattanooga can support.
Yeah, okay. Makes complete sense, right? Expanding that total addressable market that you guys can actually sell into, right? You've got the distribution part figured out over 40 years. You know how to buy, wholesale and spot the right kind of products that there's demand, get those into a warehouse. You know how to ship efficiently. You know how to acquire new retailers and dealers. It's now about, okay, how can we expand our catalog or really just tap into the catalog we have to sell into other dealers and expand your market. Now, makes complete sense. Very cool. So I know we obviously have kind of like a technical partnership, if you will, and are looking to empower a lot of your dealers as well as you guys to be more efficient when it comes to all the technology that finds its way into just, general wholesale distribution and retail, right? So curious on kind of how you guys think about technology. Is it a necessary evil? Do you find it strategic? How do you kind of leverage it, and how do you look at technology in general in your guys' business?
I would say our industry is pretty unique when it comes to technology. When you look at, the retail space or even the e-commerce space, our industry is probably a little slower to the game than others. but that leads to a lot of opportunity in my mind. And so we view it as a strategic kind of lever, if you want to call it that, where there's dealers who are looking to grow, they're looking to expand, and they may not have the expertise or the capital to go out and hire in-house developers. And so that's where making ease of use for technology comes into play, and being able to offer them, solutions like a company like FlexPoint to take that on for them and enhance their business without, really having to completely overhaul their business model.
Yeah, makes sense. What kind of challenges do you see? If you can talk specifics, maybe, you're there supporting the sales reps. We're trying to get a deal closed or bring on a new dealer, and they might have an online piece, they might have a brick-and-mortar piece, maybe both. What kind of challenges have led you to partnering with FlexPoint, if you can speak in any kind of specifics?
Yeah, I would say the biggest hurdle sometimes is, having to maybe piece together solutions. So they may be trying to do inventory through a static, file, maybe trying to use their website, through this third party. And so they're kind of stuck trying to piece all the pieces together themselves. And this ends up being a lot of issues further on because, that breaks down communication, and then really just prevents them from being able to order and serve their customers effectively. So what kind of led us to look at FlexPoint is kind of that one-stop kind of overall partner that would be able to handle a lot of those pieces, specifically towards drop shipping, and really kind of take that on and provide everything that dealer may need for their business to get off the ground and running.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. And we're excited for the partnership. I know we've got a lot of announcements coming up in the next couple of weeks, so looking to kind of get that in front of our audiences as well as yours. So excited for that. When it comes to, just the industry as a whole, we're in an election year where, like I said, we've kind of had that push we've had the last 5 years and things like that. How do you look at, what we've got going on and the industry as a whole? Are you guys pivoting, preparing, doing anything differently, or is it kind of business as usual? Things go up and down.
Yeah, our industry is kind of unique in that area for sure. We are pretty reactive to events, certain seasons. So we're always top of mind in election years because we know there's always going to be some kind of swing. All it takes is, for one thing to happen, and it can kind of change the trajectory of your year in a hurry. So it's kind of weird to say, but that is kind of just business as normal for us. And I would say, coming off of such a high that we've been on in the industry for the last 2 to 3 years, we're really just looking for ways to, continue that level of success, whether that be, the inflation starting to go down overall and allow for additional spending to be available for consumers. Like we mentioned, maybe a dealer's looking to add a different product line to kind of maybe reach new customers. All of those opportunities are kind of what we are pushing for over this next year.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Definitely can see how you can't really try to time the market, just like you can't time the market, like trying to predict a certain, law being passed or certain president being elected, right? You just kind of have to be there ready to roll with the punches. So awesome. Well, Gentry, anything else we didn't touch on that's worth kind of talking about, or did we kind of hit it all?
I believe we hit it all.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you joining today. We're excited for the partnership, excited to kind of bring you guys into our network and really kind of benefit our dealers with your guys' expansive catalog of 45,000 plus products, and sounds like a great service team and sales team as well. So thanks again, man, for joining.
Thank you. Appreciate it.